Brie Larsen's The Marvels already has MCU fanboys in their feelings. A title that I don't really know what really actually means, beyond that the Rolling Stone's editorial department is apparently in desperate need of somebody with basic syntax skills. But it continues with, just say you hate women and leave, honestly. And you know what? I could be persuaded. Ironically, I could very much so be persuaded, as leaving the Marvel Cinematic Universe is something that people are doing on droves at the moment. Well, in large part due to certain recent entries. Good God. Like, making truly terrible entertainment. It is a skill, it is a gift, it is something you've got to work on. You don't just simply create a Witcher Blood Origins, for example. It requires a lot of effort to make something so thoroughly pungent. But the latest entry into the Ant-Man series of movies, always viewed as a little bit of why are you doing this sort of thing for Marvel Cinematic Universe, was remarkable. Truly remarkable. And so it comes as a small surprise that Marvel has decided to start cooling their jets in the future, as superhero fatigue at this point is not merely real, it is a law of universal gravity, practically. So there's that. But as for hating women, well, I mean, if you insist, but I must make a little divide here, because, hashtag not all. I have come to the conclusion that my hatred is reserved nearly universally and exclusively for women plus, a brand new and very broad definition of woman, which can incidentally include a great deal of men as well. But Brie Larsen absolutely belongs in the category of woman plus, in that she is one of our modern day strong female characters, which is all the exact same female character who essentially just is a man, but female, who acts like a man in all regards, except an thoroughly unlikable and over-the-top, stereotypical representation of what even 80s action heroes could hardly ever hope to do, even in their schlockiest and hammiest of moments, but oh well, details. So we have here a little picture as well, referencing the Miss Marvels, or Marvels series actually, an important distinction there, as we'll get to in a second, where we have a plank investigating a smaller piece of wood. And according to the attribution, supposedly Captain Marvel is in the picture somewhere as well. I'm guessing overhead in the background on one of the posters, but, it's hardly relevant. Less than 3 days after Marvel Studios released the first teaser trailer for the upcoming The Marvels film, and its star Brie Larsen, well, one of its 3 stars, incidentally, as Brie Larsen proved incapable of, carrying a movie by herself, are already facing backlash from the misogynistic side of the Marvel fandom. Oh god, the misogynists. Okay, well, there can't be that many of them, right? It's 2023 after all. Well, it turns out there are more misogynists than there are just simple humans in the world. We're something along the lines of 56% of the population, actually. Now, again, I would like to stress the difference between woman plus and woman here, because you can have exceptional female and strong characters even in the modern age. Lucretia from Spartacus. Oh, amazing, stellar character, and fantastical performance as well from, what was her name, Lucy Lawless? Or was that the stage name or something? The same woman who played Xena Warrior Princess back in the day, in fact. Spartacus, I swear to God. Watch it. Skip the first episode. It's not what the show is. But watch it. It is amazing. And Lucretia and her husband, the chemistry between all of the actors. It is one of those shows that is just, it is a spark of lightning in an otherwise dead, desolate wasteland of modern entertainment. But anyways, we're not here to talk about good actresses now, are we? So let's get back to Captain Marvel. That one. Tabs. In theaters November 12th, The Marvel sees its titular character, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Saber Captain Monica Rambeau, just all the captains, I guess, struggling to figure out what mysterious force has them switching bodies and powers. Plot contrivances surrounding a MacGuffin, I'm presuming. While not a direct sequel, The Marvel is the first Marvel film to feature Larsen's Carol Danvers as a main character in 2019 Captain Marvel. And this really gives you the real reason why this movie has a less than warm reception, beyond the trailer being absolute actual arse. Because here's the thing, this is catastrophic. You might think, oh, it's just a slight majority of the dislikes. This is what a regular trailer should be looking like for a Marvel movie. This is what the regular like to dislike should look like for pretty much any YouTube video. On YouTube, a platform where you have to subscribe to a channel you like, and most of the time these days actively seek out their videos, the little bell and the subscription marker hardly does anything these days, only the most hardcore of fans will actually see your videos. And anything below like a 98% like ratio, you gotta start wondering a little bit what you're doing. If you're hitting 95% or 90%, Jesus, there's some serious controversy going around. 549,000 dislikes to 470,000 upvotes? You've got a disaster on your hands, buddy. But oh well. And also, the reason why nobody likes Carol Danvers and Captain Marvels can be seen by the fact that this is not a direct sequel. They couldn't sell a movie based on Captain Marvel alone, on Carol Danvers, on Brie Larsen, because that would have been an enormous disaster. Instead, they've got to pair her up with TV miniseries characters. I mean, that is beyond the Little League of superhero movies. That is actually ridiculous. That shows you that nobody actually likes this, and you're hoping to somehow bolster her reputation by pairing her up with side characters from television shows. Like, somebody's really desperate to have Captain Marvel back on the big screen again, presumably because it's a nice big virtue signal, I guess. But on YouTube, the official upload from Marvel Studios had been hit by over 300,000 dislikes. Add on another 140,000 at this point, and thousands of copy-pasta comments. A popular way to spam content and drown out positive replies. Positive replies? You're gonna have to dig a bit, but I'm sure you can find some at least, by referencing the Morbius superhero movie, which became an enormous meme. And they managed... Actually, we're not going to get into the enormous troll that was because, well, it might give them the idea of making it another one. Captain Feminist and the Patriarchy Stone. I mean, if the hat fits. Marvel Disney has gone off the deep end once again, says another. It seems Disney is willing to decimate and destroy anything we remember about Marvel Comics just to push their narrative. Correct. I mean, when you're right, you're right. See, Captain Marvel has a bit of a history in the comic sphere as well, in that she's been rebooted so goddamn many times. She's been, well, practically anything. She's been a man, she's been a Muslim woman, she's been a white woman, she's had superpowers granted to her by external entities, yada yada yada. I don't even know how many times she's been rebooted at this point. They keep trying to make her work because, I mean, she's a bit of a titular main character, I suppose, with Marvel and everything, and yet nobody ever seems to like the damned character. Oh well. This is Larsen's first time dealing with man-children for, checks notes, doing her contractual obligated job. You mean antagonizing the people that are supposed to be watching your movie? If that is in her contract, I strongly suggest Disney and Marvel that you rewrite that piece of shit. Because alienating your actual fandom, well, it doesn't work that well. Even the paid critics could only manage an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the 45% of audience score that was allowed to remain after they yeeted the majority still gives you barely a 45%, less than 50-50 positive. Now, I know very few people in my life that would waste their time watching a movie that the majority of people didn't like, considering the sheer quantity of entertainment out there these days. They should have mentioned that here. Movie review site Rotten Tomatoes had to update its entire policy in an attempt to prevent angry male fans, how do you know they're males, from review bombing the film before anyone saw it. That's right, they had to literally change the rules of Rotten Tomatoes to get it to at least be potentially positive. And even then, they failed. You changed the rules and still lost the game. Remarkable. So seeing Larsen back on the big screen, undeterred, yes, undeterred. This is a great personal heroic move for her. So strong, so brave, so impressive. Has seemingly pushed some buttons. Add in the star power from Paris and Villani, whose characters are vocal about how their black and Pakistani American identities intertwine with their superhero lives, and then Marvel was a target of less than savory Marvel fans from the moment it was announced. Well, there's exactly the thing. You have the strongest of female characters, the blandest, the plankiest, the dead-eyedest of female characters, Brie Larsen's Captain Marvel, combining with people who cannot stop shutting up, cannot shut up, more correctly, about their skin color, about their religion, about their identity politics, and yes, you are indeed in for a little bit of a perfect storm there, as anything the movie is going to have related to superhero powers is, well, imagine this, the entire plot of this movie, this TV series special, practically, is, 1, their powers don't work, great start to any superhero show, 2, they get changed randomly, for comedic skits, I guess. And the main character that actually does some of the fighting in the trailer is a cat, which was created as a gag for another Marvel movie. Quite the sales pitch. And of course, the entire thing is just a series of, haha, did you see that? Something funny happened. Oh, and that character, she's an enormous fan of Captain Marvel. She's the only one we could find. And we had to pay her to pretend to be one. That's the best part. You literally have an actor acting out being a fan of Captain Marvel. I mean, it's realistic, if nothing else. It's a very true-to-reality depiction of what a Captain Marvel fan would look like in today's environment. But, yeah, still, it's a little bit desperate, don't you think? Compare this to, say, for example, the old-school trailers again. Like, let's say, so Marvel Studios Avengers, okay? Let's just have a little click of around here. Here we have a bunch of the characters. They're going around. There's something happening. We know the story. There's fighting. There's all kinds of power nonsense. There's enormous armies running around the scene. Iron Man 3, the worst of the Iron Mans. Even then, we've got stuff actually happening here. We've got heroes, villains, we've got stuff, we've got the Iron Man suit. By comparison, the Marvels. Okay? This is one of our titular main characters having been flung away from a MacGuffin and is helplessly drifting through space. Great. Here we have, literally, the paid actor pretending to like Captain Marvel. Here we have another side character from another TV series, and oh yes, here we have the gag cat character. I know, you probably can't even see anything going on because of the resolution of a YouTube trailer, but trust me, there's a cat over there. That bunch of pixels there, that's a cat, and it is more dangerous than our main character is. Great. And I can't actually show you here because running a trailer will literally get me a copyright claim, but go watch the original Iron Man trailer, for example. It's full of kick-ass music, action, explosions, shit is going down in that, whereas this one is literally just a series of ridiculous little retarded gags. I mean, the movie is a joke, so I suppose embracing that fact is progressive in and of itself. And then you've got the defense as well. Oh, the man-children, the misogynists, the cryberries. Oh yeah, there we go. Another review from the Rolling Stones also noted that incels were enraged by Larsen's press tour. Again, if this is how you speak to the people you are hoping will pay money to go watch your movie, you might be wanting to look into a different marketing strategy. Just saying, but the Marvels. It is almost certainly going to be an enormous failure because, well, that is pretty much what the Marvel Cinematic Universe has become these days. And getting Brie Larsen, the plank herself, to act out as the main character, which requires supporting main characters from TV shows, well, it doesn't exactly sound like a slam dunk, does it? And the 2016 form of marketing, where you're essentially trying to shame the audience into watching it, well, I don't know how to tell you this, but it stopped working about 5 years ago, and I don't think you're going to be bringing it back into relevancy anytime soon. Oh well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. After all, it could work. I don't think so necessarily, but lightning, striking twice, etc. You might as well try. And hey, anything that loses Marvel and Disney money is a good thing in my book. Till next time, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Till then, have a good day.